What's going on, guys? I'm gonna get on here and do a quick 1 year in review of the EZV bow sight. This thing is durable as all get out, is much easier to use than what you would initially think. It really is as simple as framing it and claiming it, like Aaron says. Aaron's the guy who owns the business, him and his family. These things are all made in America. Him and his family live out in Montana. It's all anodized aluminum, super lightweight. I think it's only like 7 ounces. So you really don't have to use a bunch of counterweight for like a back bar or anything like that if you don't want to. Comes in 2 colors, camo and flat black. The Sapphire series inserts now are this like clear, kind of give you the similar idea of a pin, the way it draws in the light, and the whole thing is one solid piece. Super durable. It is not flimsy plastic. And then as you can see, the ring around the outside kind of does the same thing, draws in pretty low light. Gives you a really good clear sight picture even in those last few minutes. It is based off the speed of your arrow, not the speed of your bow. Like you can go a little bit off your IBO, but you really need to know how fast your arrow is actually going. Especially not everybody is shooting a 350 grain arrow. Most of us are shooting a little to a lot heavier. So they are in different speeds. Like he sends you inserts for everything, and you can buy them separately as well if you have something that's kind of wonky. So they have from 200 feet per second up to like 320, I think. Don't quote me on that, but he sends you pretty much everywhere in between. And if you're not sure, you can also use the pins you already have. He sends you a card, and it basically transfers where your pins are based off the pin gap and translates it to these tick marks. The top one would be 20, 30, 40, 50. The faster speeds, the ratio that he uses goes out to 60, I think 70 on some of them. I shoot heavier arrows, so mine only goes out to 50, and I wouldn't be shooting out to 50 anyway with what I'm shooting. It is based off of stadiometric ranging. So this is like tank sights. So Aaron has done all kinds of research looking into the average size of the vitals on North American game. So it's like a 13 by 10, I think, oval that you would imagine the lungs would be in. And you just line it up, and as soon as that oval touches both sides of that sight, you fire, and it center punches it. Takes a little while to get used to, just some practicing in the backyard, to not having those pins. I actually had I have mine flipped now, so the ticks are on the back side. So you can see, it's like, quote, Ranch Fairy, it's going pro. So I actually found I was better off with putting little marks for my 20 yards, because 20 yards and in, I use the same spot. So I found that worked a little better for me to know for my 20 yards and in where that was, and then anything further than that, I'm just using the sight the way it's intended, raising up until I know those vitals are claimed in, fire, and it goes right where I want it to. It does really, really well, like I said, in low light. I think it's one of the big questions I see a lot of guys on the forums post. This thing draws in light really well, and obviously it is a very wide open sight picture. You don't have, a bar from a single pin, or 3, 4, these 5 pin sights and everything where you can't see the animal you're shooting at. So it's wide open. You can see everything. If my head was the vitals. Right as that V hits, bam, center fire, right there. It's a terrible diagram, but I don't know how to do video editing yet, so that's where we're at. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I think it's Mountain Time Archery is Aaron's YouTube channel. If you just search Easy View Bow Sight, he has tutorials on everything, how the sight works, all the math behind it, how it works on, it adjusts for elevation, shooting out of tree stand, shooting up for like the Western guys, up, you know, it takes all that into account. So your mind just gets used to that sight picture of what you need to see, and you just know, bam, it's there, fire, and you're good. I'd say it's very close to like splitting the gap between shooting like, you know, recurve longbow, shooting instinctively, you know, just training your mind that way, and combining it with, you know, traditional sights. This is like the somewhere middle ground. I liked it because although I still use a rangefinder to know what like my maximum distance on area around me is, I don't have to worry about, okay, well, you know, are they 25, or you know, they're at my mark at 25, but then they took a couple steps, and you know, they could be at 27, they could be at 30, I'm not really sure, and trying to guesstimate or trying to shoot pin gaps. I've done it, but I liked the idea of having one less thing to worry about. That was one thing that I always stressed a lot. Sitting there, it was like, oh gosh, you know, what if they come in at kind of a spot that I didn't, you know, pre-range? I wasn't very good at guessing ranges usually. So this kind of takes place of that. And unlike some of the more modern sights that are coming out with the ranging capabilities built into them via laser, there's no batteries you have to worry about, or, you know, still having the finicky pins, that having to slide it up and down while you're having a deer walking into you. This is all just, it's set, it's there, there's nothing to it. Also, couldn't be any more simple. There's one Allen key for up and down, and one Allen key down here for left and right, and that's it. There's no little micro adjustment, goofiness, or whatever. You can get as, you know, finicky as you want with it. I've seen guys attaching them to a slider. I'm not really sure why. I've seen guys do a bunch of weird stuff with it, but I like it. It's simple, it's durable, and it actually uses the same Allen key as my technology stuff on my limbs for my Elite. So I just have that with me, and I know as long as I carry that one around in my case, I can make adjustments for anything on my bow that I need to. So definitely give Aaron a shout out. If you have questions about the sight, hit him up, shoot me a message. I don't care. It's awesome. I love it. It's worth the investment. So give it a shot.